Spreading love everywhere this Valentine's Day, from finding a match online to love languages and dating a millennial versus a Gen X. We've got everything you guys need to know about love and dating in 2017. Joining us this morning is the beautiful Bilota, relationship expert and author of Single in the City, and the lovely and handsome Cajun. And he's a dating coach. Good morning.
Hi. Morning.
Talk about your dedication. Let's get this out of the way, Laura. It pains me to see her in pain. You are going for surgery on that ankle today. Love hurts. But thank you for being here to share advice just the same.
I wouldn't miss breakfast television.
Oh, you're so sweet. You're going to mend your ankle today, but we're talking about mending broken hearts and finding love this morning. So let's talk about, first of all, you've noticed such a difference in the dating scene over the last 10 years even, right? Millennials versus Gen Xers. What are some of the differences?
Yeah, I would say that obviously millennials are a bit more casual with the whole dating thing, you know, Tinder being the big app for them. And then when you get although not to say that the Gen Xers aren't jumping in there with that as well.
They are.
Yeah, and it's you know, it's a good thing, but there is I think like a different sort of style to the Gen Xers when it comes to, they take it a bit more seriously. They tend to prefer a more serious date over a more casual sort of meeting.
And millennials aren't approaching like the Gen Xers, you know, because they're stuck, glued to their phones, and they would rather have a relationship through text. And Gen Xers still like to get on the phone.
So if anything, millennials need to work on their social skills because they're so used to conversing through text that you need to help them come out of their shell and have person-to-person interaction.
Person-to-person interaction.
Versus Gen Xers, they like conversations and going out on dates and dinners versus a quick coffee, let's say.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So what are some other tips for anybody out there looking to find love? Because it is so tough nowadays. You say get outside your social circle and open up your mind to people you otherwise may not be looking for. So how do you get past that?
So dating outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Well, if you keep on dating a certain type of person and it's not working, then you need to start dating outside of your comfort zone and giving people chances, because that person that you think you're meant to be with might not be the person that you're actually meant to be with.
And I love that you say, one of you said, it looks fade, right? So make sure you have that lasting love. There's a difference, though. You have to have that attraction, right? So regardless of if they meet your typical requirements of what you're looking for, you have to have that chemistry.
Yeah, you gotta be open to it. I mean, love conquers all, right? So being open to the fact that you might be more attracted to someone that you wouldn't necessarily thought, just because it's more of an emotional thing instead of a logical thing. I think people get too caught up with the, I want a person like this, and it's gotta be this tall, that they sort of, you know, they don't see what's really there. So.
Yeah.
What about people who are divorced and they think, how do I possibly re-enter the dating pool? Like, you just feel like it's been so long. How is it not so daunting? What sorts of things can you do?
Well, I think it's important to ease into the dating scene slowly, take your time with it, and take a look at what went wrong in that relationship, and get over your past hurt so you don't bring that baggage to a new relationship. And also, you want to get back to self-love, and how you do that is working on yourself. What makes you happy? You know, maybe it's time to go back to the gym, eating healthy, and doing things that will help you get to a better place and feeling better about yourself.
Yeah, I would say just be open. I mean, the dating game has changed so much, even in the past few years, that, you know, if you're getting out of a long-term relationship or a marriage or whatnot, you got to be open to the fact that things aren't the same as it used to be when it comes to dating.
And don't look to someone to fix you. You have to fix yourself, and then you'll attract the right person.
Right.
Right? I know when I resigned to the fact that I was never going to find anybody, I found my husband at 29. I had literally given up. My sister and I started looking for a place to live together.
At 29?
In the sense that, you know what, I was a late bloomer, and I thought maybe it's just not meant to be for me, and I didn't want to keep living at my parents' house because I love my parents, but I mean, I was 29, and we literally started looking for places to live together. We said we're going to be like the Golden Girls, cheesecake, whole nine, and just be happy together. And then, lo and behold, that's when I met my Mr. Right. It's almost when you're not looking for it, but you're happy with yourself.
But I think nowadays you almost have to look for it a little bit, because that, you know, shining armor guy or whatever girl is not going to be landing on your doorstep. So you have to be proactive, and you have to get out there as much as possible.
That's
and you
true.
have to try new things. If you're going to try online dating, try more than one site. Go speed dating. You know, speed dating works.
Or how do you feel about just like joining new groups, like with hobbies?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're
sure.
introduced to a different pool, social pool of people if you're not into the online stuff.
And one other thing I wanted to mention about dating after divorce that people still do, and I say this all the time. I guess people aren't listening to me. Maybe they haven't heard me. But don't talk about your ex. You know, and so many people do that still.
It's a no-no.
Yeah, and then they talk negatively about their ex, and what that does is it makes you look bad. So you don't want
What
to do
other
that.
things could people do out there today in terms of their online profile? I know you say have a really good picture, but make sure it looks like yourself, because I know friends of mine here, they've been duped where somebody uses a picture, you know, that's so filtered and it's maybe 20 years ago.
Oh.
Just present your best current self.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that a good tip?
Yeah, there's actually, my company's releasing a book actually today called thetinderbook.com, or the matches at thetinderbook.com, and one of the big
Hey,
things
how
we talk
about my
about.
book?
Of course, sorry.
Just kidding.
Yes.
Plug
Laura
your
has
book.
another
No,
book
go
coming
ahead,
out as
go
well.
ahead, go ahead.
The only reason I mention that is because there's a big problem where a lot of guys now, especially with the new sort of Tinder thing, they'll take these professional photos.
Okay.
They'll have a bunch of these professional photos, and all it really looks like is that they're trying really hard to come across like they got a great profile,
Right.
which actually communicates the opposite. So,
Everyone
there's
has an
small things
Android.
there.
You want to convey your best self in your natural environment. So you don't want to go into a studio and have someone
Yeah,
take all these
exactly.
photos
Because
of
you're
you.
saying they're being looked at as too egotistical, too narcissistic, that sort of thing?
It just comes across needy. Yeah, it
No,
comes across like you.
it's just not.
Trying too hard.
Yeah,
And it's not
exactly.
their real self.
Yeah.
And on a daily
Fake.
basis. You don't go into a studio and get someone to take pictures of you.
And what do you think about that? Because social media now, everybody's comparing everybody's best versions of themselves. There's almost too much pressure that way too. So how do you keep yourself grounded and happy with what you have?
I think it's hard. Like, it's almost an addiction, I think, now with young people, especially
Yeah.
with Tinder. It's so easy to just
Yeah.
go through, and it changes the way you look at it a little bit in a really negative way. So it's being conscious of that and understanding that, you know, although it's easy to just sort of rate people and do that sort of thing, you have to understand that if you're taking this seriously, you got to put a bit more thought into it. And,
I feel
take it
for
more
everyone
seriously.
online because I feel like there's so many options that they don't take it seriously. It's like they waste it like a Kleenex.
That-
Like,
Yeah.
if this date
Yeah.
doesn't work out, I have another 10 waiting
Yeah,
for
exactly.
me.
And Dina, that's one of the biggest problems nowadays, and that's why online dating doesn't work for a lot of people, and because it's called the paradox of choice. That's also in my book, Single in the City. See, I plugged it.
Yeah, you did it.
And what happens is there are too many choices. You know, people are meeting through social media, through
Yep.
Tinder, through online, and all these different, and they get overwhelmed. And so they don't make a decision because you have too many options out there.
Yep, the love doctors are in the house, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We hope to see more of you because this is a topic I think we could all use more advice on. I hope you heal quickly.
Thank
and we'll
you.
see you back here hopefully soon. And good luck looking for love, everybody. It's out there somewhere. Open up your heart. More BT right after this.